Hello again, you guys. It's Callie from the Poetry of Nice, and I have my weekly sales update video for you guys today. So I'm going to do things just a little bit differently this week, only because I have flat out lost track of how much I have paid for each item at this point. If you watch any of my haul videos, you will know that I pick up things en masse in this season, like yard sales and rummage sales and things like that. I pick up close to 100 items per weekend, many times. And so when I'm showing you these sold items, a lot of them are things that I've picked up recently, like within the last month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. And I just can't really remember exactly how much I have paid for them. I will tell you that my overall cost of goods, like cost per item, at the end of the year that gets sort of given to my CPA and stuff, tends to be about $1 per item. So please feel free to bear that in mind when I'm showing you these items. But instead of doing the breakdown where I tell you how much the buyer paid and how much I paid for the item originally, I'm just going to kind of leave that bit out just because I don't feel like I can be super consistent and completely honest with that, because I've forgotten a lot of it. So I will, however, show you each item. I will tell you what the buyer paid, and I will try to let you know like where I paid, where I picked it up, and you know roughly how long it's been in my stores for, so you can get an idea of kind of turnover time frame there. All right, let's crack on. So Etsy, one Etsy sale again this week, which quite frankly I am thankful for. And this was a very quick flip as well. This was only listed for about 3 days. Super cool design, this vintage Disney tie with like the storm and things like that and Mickey Mouse. And this sold for $24.95 plus the shipping. And then onto Poshmark. So this is just a Forever 21, like a little romper with this elephant print. I think I picked this up at like a filler bag situation. I can't imagine I would have paid more than 50 cents for something like this, just because they don't retail high to begin with. It's fast fashion at the end of the day. It's not super high quality. And so you can't really resell it for much since, you know, it didn't really retail that high to start with. However, it still sold for $12, and it actually sold within just about 3 to 4 days of listing. So that's quite a nice quick turnover. I wasn't too unhappy with that. So $12 is what that went for. And please bear in mind with Poshmark as well, that when I send out offers to likers, that usually involves a shipping credit on my part of $1.80 that I pay towards their shipping. So sometimes with these items, that's also something to take into consideration. Okay, so Cut Loose. This brand usually does not sell on Poshmark for me. It usually goes really quickly on eBay, but for whatever reason, it went this time on Posh, and I took a best offer that the buyer sent me of $25. It was originally listed for $35, and it's been listed for probably about 2 months at this point. Next is just a pair of Clark shoes. I think I had them listed at $25, went back and forth, and I ended up taking a best offer of $15. Only because I have loads of Clark shoes in my stores right now, and honestly, they're not moving for me like they used to, at least not right now in this particular season or whatever it is. So I was quite happy to move those, and I think these particular ones have been listed for about 2 or 3 months at this point. Converse, this graphic t-shirt, this has probably been listed for about 6 to 8 weeks at this point as well, and it went for $14, as you can see there. I didn't pick it up because of the brand necessarily. Converse overall just doesn't really like have a high resale value, but I did really like the graphic with the skeletal hand and all that kind of stuff, and it had quite a lot of attention, and it sold, like I said, in a pretty decent time frame. So I'm glad I picked it up in the end. Maurice's, I know that these were from a filler bag, so these are probably like 50 cents again. Maurice's tends to do fairly well for me. The career wear, not so much. I think the denim that's embellished seems to do a little bit better. But anyway, I took a best offer of $10 for these because I had so little in them, and they were just a very sort of plain pair of like career type trousers. These sandals have gone out before and come back to me again, and when they came back to me, they have sat for a really long time, months and months and months. So I was ready to just pass them on to somebody else. So I took a best offer of $15. Originally, I think they sold for about $30, probably double what I took, because the brand, this Onyx brand, as you can see right there, that's not a bad brand at all to resell. For whatever reasons, these sandals, they've just hung around, and I am ready to let them go. So I hope that this person likes them. Express cardigan, this was what I guess I could call like a bad buy, really, because it sat for quite a long time, probably close to a year. It's been listed on eBay and Poshmark, and this is pretty much the first activity that it's had. It was fairly cute with this grey and white stripe, and then all of the buttons were kind of like a rhinestone detail. But again, it just had very little interest, and so when someone sent me an offer of $10, I was very happy to take that. New with tags, J. Crew Black Frankie Bermuda shorts. They were a size 00, which kind of, I wasn't too sure. If they weren't new with tags, I probably wouldn't have picked them up, put it that way. But they actually sold within probably about 6 to 8 weeks, so not too bad at all. And I took a best offer on those of $20. This Tom's bag I've had listed for about 4 weeks at this point. Lots and lots of interest in it, but no takers. I did list this over on eBay as well, but unfortunately, having to package it up, it was very, very oversized. The packaging, and it really needed like a box to kind of give it structure so that there was no friction on like the woven part. And it was just putting that shipping really, really high. So I'm not surprised that it didn't sell on eBay, but I am glad that it sold on Poshmark. They got it. They already left feedback. They were really, really happy with it. And $30 was the best offer that I took for this. And it was originally listed, I think, for $35. So not bad at all. Land's End, just a very, very pretty sort of almost like a little peplum hem down there, very pretty blue with a flutter sleeve detail. So it's a size 2X, and this actually sold really quickly as well in just a few days of listing, and it sold for a best offer of $18. Unfortunately, well, these vintage brown shoes, they were marked as a medium. They were marked 7 medium. And I didn't include any measurements, but neither did the person ask for them. I just kind of did the photographs and put down what they were marked as. Anyway, essentially the person got them and said that they were too narrow for them. They're not trying to return them. They didn't open a case, but unfortunately they did knock me several styles off since they didn't fit them, which I've had quite a few of those on Poshmark recently. Anybody else out there had that situation? I think that might be my third, like, less than 5-star rating in about 3 weeks where someone has got something and just said it didn't fit and then marked down my rating, which is kind of disappointing, but oh well, that's life. Reselling online. But yes, I took a best offer of $30, and I'm sad that they didn't work out for them. Hopefully they can reposh them and make their money back. Okay, this loft top, I picked it up because I absolutely love the retro print, and it was a linen blend, so it had a lot going for it, but it just really sat for quite a long time. It's probably been listed now for about 4 or 5 months, maybe even a little bit longer than that, so I took a best offer of $14. And Peruvian Connection, it's a great brand. Let me make sure I show you the label. Looks like this. Unfortunately, didn't have the desired fabric content. Usually Peruvian Connection does very well when it has like alpaca in it. And this cardigan did not have that. It just had the very cute ruffle kind of cropped look to it. It had almost like a crochet detail like down by the sleeves and stuff as well, which really stood out. I thought that was really nice looking. And I was happy to find the brand. It was actually my first time ever finding this brand, but I ended up taking a best offer of $18, and this was listed for probably about 3 months at this point. I don't even know how to say this. You can just go ahead and see the brand right there. I picked these up purely on style. I know these were at a filler bag and they were about 50 cents. They did have some wear to like the feet and things like that, as you can see here, to the insoles, which everything was disclosed. And I picked them up obviously just because we're heading into summer. They're a neat pair of shoes, and I think they might have been vintage looking them up. But anyway, $18 was the best offer that I accepted. This Free People top, this was definitely a bad buy. So I paid $4 at a thrift store originally for this. I do remember that. And then when I got home, I realized that this situation here, it was missing the lace. So I actually ended up taking a piece of like crochet ribbon and putting it in here just to kind of display how it should look, and noting that the person who bought it would most likely need to go get a ribbon or something like that they would want. And obviously that hindered the sale. So eventually someone offered me $12, and I was basically happy to recoup my money and make just a buck or two on top. Paper denim and cloth denim jeans. This was my first time finding this brand, and I wasn't sure whether or not I should pick it up. I believe it's sometimes sold at Anthropologie. At least that's how it's marked on a lot of the listings on Poshmark. But this actually was quite a nice quick sale for me. They were listed for probably about 2 weeks, which is not bad at all. And as you can see here, they sold for a best offer of $30. So not bad at all. And I think I had them listed at $35. So that's a nice quick flip. And last but not least for Posh was this Talbot's linen sleeveless blouse. It was very boxy cut. I did use the keyword lagan look just because of the style of it, and it had a neat little wooden button detail at the back of the neck. And this sold probably within, probably within a month or so of listing. 3 to 4 weeks, I'd say, for the best offer of $18, as you see there. Okay, and onto eBay. Grey's Anatomy, just a very plain scrub top where it kind of tied at the back so that you can have that kind of fitted look to it. It was a size large. I think maybe the color was undesirable. I find that the blacks and the grays do really well, sometimes the blues. And I usually get sort of closer to 16 for those, but $11.99 on sale is what this sold for. Again, buyer paying shipping on all of these. This Vince blouse, it was 100% silk. It was really, really beautiful, gorgeous army green. Lots and lots of interest, but no takers. It's been listed now for probably about probably about 3 months, at least 3 months, I would say. It was on sale anyway, and someone came along and offered me $29, which is about $5 less than the sales price. And honestly, I went ahead and took it. That's a fair return for me on what I most likely had invested in it. And like I said, plenty of interest, but not even an offer yet. So I was okay to accept that $29. Ariat, I don't know how to say that exactly, but let me show you it. There we go. That's what the logo looks like. And these were a quick sale as well. So they were the horsebit clogs. This right here, this was their actual name. Size 7.5. Picked these up at a rummage sale. And yeah, they sold pretty quickly. They sold within about 2 weeks of listing. I think that equestrian stuff usually does really good for me, whether it's a print or like a sort of horse bit detail like it had right here. And hopefully they love them. This has been in my store since the beginning of time, is what it feels like. It's a sewing pattern. I went through a phase where I picked up all kinds of sewing patterns. And I do not do that anymore because it's far too much work and they stay in my store forever, it feels like. This has been in my store and my Etsy store, eBay and Etsy, for at least 2 years, I would say. I grabbed it because it was like a prairie style with that modest high neck. And yeah, that was pretty intense. And then when I got it out to send it, it's been so long since I looked at it, I had to go through it all again just to make sure all the pieces were there because I didn't trust like my former self to have done the job right. They were, so I'm really relieved. But it sold for $11.99 with me paying shipping, about $2.80 shipping. So anyway. Old Navy, this was a quick sale as well. It was a linen blend jumpsuit. These Old Navy jumpsuits, I seem to do really, really well with these. This is the second one I found and sold. And it only sold for $15 on a best offer. The other one I think was closer to $20. However, it took about 5 or 6 weeks to sell, whereas this one sold in just a few days. But yeah, the style and like the linen blend and things like that seems to do really well for me right now. So keep your eyes open if you can find them for very, very cheap. Quick sale there. So $15 on that. This was also a very quick sale. I picked this up this weekend when I went out sourcing at rummage sales. That haul is to come this week. So if you are interested, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell button so that you can get notified when that video goes up. It should be either tomorrow or the day after, I think. And yes, so this was, let me think, how much were these? 50 cents. 50 cents for these shorts. I grabbed them because they were Lucky Brand. They were super cheap. They were a cut-off, and they had this neat, like, red, white, and blue star detail, which is perfect for this time of year. And they sold in under 1 day. And I took a best offer of $19, which I'm very happy for a pair of Lucky jean shorts. And the buy paid shipping also. Vintage Alabama Crimson Tide snapback hat. I had it listed at $50, which I think was a bit pie in the sky, to be absolutely honest with you. I was still kind of feeling out the market. It's been listed now for about four weeks-ish, and someone offered me $30 plus shipping, and I was very happy to take that. New with tags, Old Navy chambray cropped pants. I've had these for a very long time as well. They sold for $13.59, as you see here, on sale, plus that shipping. Kashik bra. I am really picky with Kashik, however you say it here. I'll show you the logo. So this was 44 double D, and I usually try to go like as big as possible, really, when I find these, or a very like loud, nice print, something like that. The sort of plain black or the plain nude just don't really do very well for me anymore, and that's all for $11.99. This vintage Nashville, Tennessee sweatshirt, this sold for $23.99 on sale. And this actually went to the Brandy Melville store in New York, like on Broadway. I don't know if that's just gone to employee there. Like it had a single name on it, and then it just said Brandy Melville store, and then the Broadway, New York address. So maybe somebody is just using that to get their mail, or maybe it's going somewhere for some interesting reason. Who knows? I'm sure I will never know, but it's always interesting to see those fun addresses pop up. So the little vintage kind of crop top with that cool crossover tie back, all embroidered, very kind of like boho festival feel, sold for $15 on a best offer. This was from the big bag of clothes that I bought from a lady that I know, and I've just sort of been working through it steadily, and it's doing really well, actually, all of that stuff. It's selling very nicely for me. So this was AUW, or I think it's As You Wish, which is just that kind of brand that you would pick up in sort of TJ Maxx or something like that, but it was new with tags. It was beautiful with that sort of romantic blush pink and all that lace, and it was a size 3X, and it sold for full asking price of $27.99 plus the shipping. And this item also sold for full asking price, $27.99, and it's just a Land's End size 2X rugby striped polo dress, that kind of green and navy blue rugby stripe. So yeah, that was a quick sale as well. Both of those sold within 1 to 2 weeks of being listed. And this pair of Chaco sandals, these were men's size 12. Obviously you can see there's a little bit of dirt and stuff on them. I did clean them off. That's just kind of residual. It was just hanging out, just from, being worn outdoors. They are outdoor shoes after all. And I took a best offer of 35 plus shipping, simply because they cost a lot to ship. And as you can see, I wasn't able to get them super spick and span by cleaning them up myself. So I was happy to take just a little bit less for them. And the last item is this cool pillow. I did list this on Poshmark in the home category, and it had some interest, but it ended up selling on eBay for a best offer of $17.50 plus shipping. And I'm glad it's going to a new home and somebody will love it. So the numbers I'm going to let you know this week are pretty darn simple. Since I don't know my cost of goods, I'm not going to try and do the big old breakdown where I tell you my net profit at the end and all that kind of stuff. But I will tell you that I sold 33 items this week, and so that's an average of 4 to 5 items sold a day. And my gross sales this week was $648.98, and roughly the amount that I paid in fees was about $130 for about 20% of that gross sales there. So just to keep it real, $130 towards fees for these platforms is roughly what I would have paid. All right, I hope that was interesting. This has definitely been a slower week for me. And as you can see, they're smaller sales, but it's weeks like this where I'm glad that I have a range of things in my store. If I just had all the higher end items like this week, nobody really bought any of those higher end items. They were all pretty modest sales, but there was enough of them that I was still able to exceed my goal for the week. And so I'm really grateful that I have the sort of mix and match type listing situation happening. It just sort of means that things tend to tick over steadily for me, no matter what kind of thing is selling or how busy it is, really. Okay, well, let me know how your sales are going as well. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine. I hope you're having a great time sourcing. Click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't. I would love to have you come join me again. Say hello in the comments so I can say hi back, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, you guys.